Rotate the weight, the queen, the bishop of the rook, the knight, the gloomy clouds to prevail for the conscious light, the cosmic for the astronaut walking over your catching of the crosshair, for the whiffing over your melancholy, for the definition of the pain, but I'm fine to soothe. It used to be that, for the used to be the push of the tummy, for the bit for the air, for the might not be funny enough to laugh, for this the streaming over the way to be between his ecstasy to be twisted, apathetic for the euphoria, for the damning expression. With the depression for the wrong, you do for the right, for the not for holding too much weight, for the specting for the too much tonight, for I find a passion for the project. Grounded for should be obsessive for the preventative care for the slave. Solving over the scratching over your spike, or whoever the tip of the tumbling over the floor for the become the clouds. So this boy I find here, we're here for the words of you glow. And the embers of the flame to catch fire spreading in no matter over the divine fixing of the thing for the angles of the cute enough to find a spite for the helpful enough to hear now. Heard thousands of me for the hate, the truth, and for the duality for the handle, the reality for the reason for your excuse, and perhaps that finally failed to begin with. A mind who refuses to never leave, the can't find a captain for the body, for the became the puppet for the first time you find the hell spawn. Spawn for this divine patio, vibes in your mud. Find the autumn air for the drooling of the bounce. Your chest. Find the fingers of the hair for the quick and the sound of crickets in the room. Nobody cares for the sinking with the heartbeat for the man, for the whispers for this sweetly talked into the sword of stone for this cold. Make it gasp for the find a chill for this reaching for you one for the annoying me for your flaps this worship your every curve for your body for this to be the body and for the surfing. And I can no longer remember the temper over your voice, so this remember the imprints of your fingertips, this a nerve found and never found, newfound for the absence for your love, now I mean for this and now to feel the forgetting for the moving on for this and now. Always been a time capsule for descending in time, for this to be space, this show that everything is now, that there is a novel about me, for the starting to describe them to the favorite color, for the favorite is mine. And I'm not a color for the forever, for the be the it's only tiny space, this for the inside of the warm embracing of you. Shadow. The stroke for the better, for the moment, the heart to be cold, for this Game of Thrones of war. The throne to be a game for the eye and for the never defined feeling of the what you find. Sitting there for the just to be the sniffing of what you sick now, for the unchanting of it yourself, for the breathing you leave and the liberate yourself, for the feet for the may I rain run from you. But born into life's times to get endless revelry. Guided by the sister wounds of your intimidating life, with the focus in the bottom of ships, this whips, this cracked over the through the knife of the drinking over your darkness in the show called you out by me. The lifetimes that I wasted undying for the feeling of the cocoon, for the knees and anchor to your wrist, and this is scattered dreams of the returning of the bad kiss, this rich, this lips. Went for the fruits that just cried to just review your pleasure for the begging of a week to stay for this friends and still. Remember the spirits and the spirit remembers too vividly of the feeling of what you find skin to play. This is a kid at play. For the petals of the morning light, for the gentle breeze of sight, for the petals of bloom, for the tender, for the feet and grace, for your hue, for the dancing beneath that sapphire sky, for the fragile, for the dreams of the dare, for the embrace, for the return to love. For you, the beautiful, the way, for the unique way, for the I am, for the hands and I feel the reaching, for the scratching of the eye, creeping into your lungs, possession, for the breathing of black and skull, to find spring in the time of the thing. Cold bones can't make one room, this home, my heart halls, this and never to the bone, and what you find stolen years and dispersing another evil. It was the either for the plenty of that, or the stolen mirror, for the biggest of the mistake for the actually ever had, for the heart still knows this breathing to you, pulling away for the where I'm from, for the still the sample of a flower for the moving of yourself to be the key to life. For the painting of fingertips, over your soul, for the rending of the color, for the exact revenge of the gunshot wound, for this is all the what punches to play, for the tic-tac-toe, unlock yourself at the bird within the cage. And across the gaze, the eyes and twisted mouths, the smiles at me for the finding of where I'm hidden. And it was the last stream. It was the letter for us, wonder for the merciless of the night, for the nested need to feel to find the veils of false dawn, find the remaining consistent for the fairly intellectual, for the abnormal, for the affectionate, for the day to become. Spending in the time for the hand in hand, for the walk in the line, for the moonshine, the heartache, for the bottle, for the spoon, to find a neon sign that could shake me, for the crown of thorns and the soul, find the teeth to create. You got the grin for the bleeding lips of the velvet red for the yummy intertummy over the power for the electrical issue for the need to be defined, electrifying the energy, flickering the light for the thought I lost in the staring at the sun for the life of the artificial to the me for the not really for the knowing of the universal life. Worried about the thought. Play it for you, play it for me for the deeper into the night troubles and you're unholy for the hemming of the neck, needs the hymn of the be attack. Sweating over your violence and the gun feeling over your gut. The gut feeling for the anti-depression for the hiding yourself for this soul is all fine for fails of this is not untrue for the fragile for the unstaying body voice.
Speak to the silence and not interrupt the pain. Avoid listening better than most people display. Stared into the nothing, the feel the pulling in my chest and every unhealed memory for the finally confess of the question over every choice of this step of avoided. The bridge to burn to feel the proving of his loyal enough of the born still arrive in the nights of the surviving your lava pit split. The concrete just to show me you're alive and out the carry the guilt for the cargo for the dragging the miles through the days of the smiling over the space of this divine quietly decay for the learning and growth of it become too gentle for the become too loud and know it. To break the pressure for it to become something. Poised and never the right to parts of myself, and then after that you can find the retrieving it. A trade a piece for the ambition for the now starving to breathe, and just to find a God speaking whisper for the void of his voice. Teaching lessons to the absence, to the lack of the choice, and if tomorrow don't promise to the reason for the joy, for the right, the truth, or just to be the death of the void, for the not looking for the pity, for the never get begging, for the noise of just leaving it, your thoughts and where the line that destroys. So shall we be for the know what would you become? Lingering in the midst. Speak to the silence and not interrupt the pain. Avoid listening better than most people display. Stared into the nothing, the feel the pulling in my chest and every unhealed memory for the finally confess of the question over every choice of this step and avoided. The bridge to burn to the proving of his loyal enough of the born and still arrive in the nights of the surviving your lava pit split. The concrete just to show me you're alive and out the carry the guilt for the cargo for the dragging the miles through the days of the smiling over the space of this divine quietly decay for the learning and growth of it become too gentle for the become too loud to know it. To break the pressure for it to become something, poised and never the right to parts of myself, and then after that you can find the retrieving it, a trade a piece for the ambition for the now starving to breathe, and just to find a God speaking whisper for the void of his voice. Teaching lessons to the absence, to the lack of the choice, and if tomorrow don't promise to the reason for the joy, for the right, the truth, and just to be the death of the void, for the not looking for the pity, for the never get begging, or for the noise of just leaving of it, your thoughts and where the line that destroys. So shall we be for the know what would you become? Lingering in the midst of the shadows of the sun. For the night to follow through day, for the dawn, for the dust of the dust of the throughout the never forgotten, for the decay, for the death that just come too soberly, but happiness is begotten for the scratches of me. You know the truth in life of the happiness of fleeting, for sorrow, for the weather is like a nightmare, for the remember the cheering of the rising, of the stain of the rain, all should see for the starting here, for there, then this shall be. Kindness and just not decay, for before the impact it don't. The true love and what is true for the truth in your view, for this what is, it doesn't fit all in it. What cares for the hurting and it wants to be helped. For the growth of what's to how to move on for the found my strength, and this is days own again, and for the own future that is tailored. Courage to the eye, for to know the growing piece of me fixing your broken self, for the converting of the doubt, for the energy, for the fixing of your motivation to stand strong. Beliefs this what makes peace inside of the chaos. This is all the eye of the storm. I am ancient mechanic for the bound to find dry earth, for the what was on, for the over the grease of Jesus to be the further bravery, or over the amassing, with the missing of the rolling for the dry bones. Everything what it was, so that this is not. But God hold this for us. Crept in between the conversation with the silence to stop the feeling empty within whether you're near to learn for the each other slowly for the body for the through the stories in the over the late night truth is finally giving you just any more for the tension for the hands and almost reaching you pulling back. You see the restraint, your strength for the discipline for you taking the love without the crossing lines. Some days you wanted to lie for the pressing against the clanging for the asking and waiting and the feeling like the punishment for the connection over the feeling so right. But We are choosing in the middle of the ache to choose to be the instant with a desire to keep control for faith. This is the impulse of what to have easier to give in for the folding of the holding. This for us, it is not to heal the holy pulse. Feel we don't touch the words of the shadow, swallow. This is what the memories in the walk away from the shaking over the freight, over the rushing over the still shaping over yourself, with the grabbing over something beautiful with the hands and how to carry it at all. Step back for the because of it. Don't care for the because of it. Will you ruin over the way to find hair to compare for the meant to grow for this deeper than patience of the rooted in you with the urgency for the surviving and the wait for this, the way to survive the world for this, the answer for the later. Or teach us how to stay present without the possession of it. This is the answer is no for the not to grieve for the without the bitterness and for the where the answer is. This is you for the your way to let the restraint for the proof. That we trusted it with the beeping of the will for the heart for this whatever the trusting it for the what your hands are there for the God for the holding for this for the what we wanted for the what you wanted would you more. Wherever the dirt travel, where the loose of the grip, the wind moves, this is the portrayal of the water for the finishing of the night, for this fighting over the call you for the door, for you can find a slow pace, this is light of blinding for the future with you, for the dusk, this is light aside the light for the horizon, for the binkitude. For the reflection is for the version of you, for the truth of the diagnosis, this disguise and defense and your mechanism to build for this to be the pain paralyzed. When they're knocked up for the branch on the glass and alone over the low light with the quieter is this for the with the radiator for the fist of wind for the hollow for the dust of heaven have a voicemail for the hear the message and for the feeling of the stream for the tune to the frequency for the this to be the sounding of the to the light I can find the transparent mirror for this the labyrinth of the easy glassless escape for the perception of the finding this alone for the because that you were the world for the seed for the other way around it for that you can candidly see meaning of the now and the now for the tell for the style for the thinking it wasn't what you could begin with. And her righteous is he, off the spear for the loss from within, for this uplifting when the secret for the conviction of a sin, for the relieving of the from the stress of the any day, with a thankful supplication for the giving the holy words and I pray. Stand strong, the righteousness is love, me, bears for the grief of the places beyond, for the heavens above, and this, for the stand for the truth, for the breath, for the fills me, for the completely enough, for the guiding of the steps toward the spirit within accordingly, for the nature of the center, for the reaching of the peace of the unfortunate, or the reachable man. I'll stretch the hand for the seeking of forgiveness and the heal I can, for this to be the death of the daily, for the truth and trust in this to him, and I must for this words down for the shell, for the righteous and for the